Speaking about costs, let's talk about nuclear energy. And the one argument Labor seems to have against it these days is cost. Dr Adi Paterson used to run Australia's Nuclear Science and Technology organisation. He joins me now. Thanks for joining us, Adi. Is cost...
It's good to be with you.
...the big problem with nuclear, or is Labor wrong on that too?
At the end of the day, the cheapest electricity in Europe is provided by France, which has got 59 nuclear reactors. And next door in Germany, where they've shut down 28 reactors, they have the most expensive electricity and the least reliable electricity. So it's very clear. If you have nuclear and you have it built into the shortest possible grid, we've just been talking about a much longer grid, you get the lowest cost to the consumer and you get the best outcome for your economy.
Yeah, this is the point. All those transmission investments and storage investments in renewables, all of that is disregarded. You don't need that with nuclear. Labor talk about time as well. And of course, we'll have to change our laws. You'd have to get investment, approvals and the rest of it. But in the United Arab Emirates, from 10 years from start to go to set up a very large nuclear power station. So obviously it can be done, especially if you're buying off-the-shelf technology from a country like South Korea.
Exactly. In the case of the Emirates, they built 4 reactors in 12 years. And those 4 reactors would do a lot of the heavy lifting that we need in New South Wales, for example. It is absolutely wrong to say and to create the impression that nuclear is difficult and that it takes too long. I think that Australia really needs to know that without nuclear, we are going to be the most expensive electricity destination in the world, and we are very unlikely to be competitive in any form of economy. In fact, I think that we're likely eventually to drive our students away because it'll just become too expensive to come and study in Australia.
I think the comparison with the province of Ontario in Canada is quite a relevant one because they have an industrialised economy. They have high demand. Their power prices are about half what ours are now in Australia. They were very coal reliant and they made the conscious decision, like us, I suppose, they need to get away from coal. They're still using, they have a big dollop of hydro. They use about 20 to 25% hydro. They're lucky there. We don't have that benefit, I suppose, to that degree. They've built out a fair bit of wind. They've got sort of 7% wind now compared to 25 or 30 for us, I suppose. But they decided that the most, and they've got plenty of gas, but they didn't, instead of spending more on gas, they went and upscaled nuclear. They decided that was the best way to replace that base load power of coal. And they used the other forms, a bit of gas, a bit of hydro and wind to infill. That's probably where Australia should head to, isn't it?
Oh, I agree. Ontario is the sort of the poster child of how to really do it. You get a mix, you get the best mix that you can, and you get the lowest carbon and an incredibly low price to consumers. And that's why it's such an attractive destination for all sorts of industries in that part of Canada. And then right next door, you've got a big hydro operation in the next door state. And so they've practiced with all of the low carbon reliable sources, but they have proven very clearly that nuclear is the way to go. The problem we have is intermittent renewables. Wind, for example, only blows 2 days out of 5. Now, if you only had to go to school 2 days out of 5, you wouldn't get very far at school. But we're designing an energy school which we're just not going to pass, and as a result, we're essentially going to fail as a manufacturing nation and as a modern economy.
Yeah, that is what's so attractive about nuclear. You don't have the emissions, but you have this reliable, this energy security that modern economies absolutely need. Thanks for your insights yet again, Adi. We'll keep in touch.